That's how the Black Stars wrapped up their international break with that draw against Angola. And you still with me is Daniel Corantin. And Corantin, you've been studying the Black Stars 2 games. First at the Barra Sports Stadium where they got the win and the draw against Angola all the way in Luanda. Of course, Chris Heaton's disappointment. These are the first 2 games. 1 win, 1 draw, 2 goals scored, 1 conceded. And you have 5 lessons that we've learned from these 2 games. What's the first one?
Most importantly, 4 points. You forgot to mention that. 4 points.
4 points
for the Black Stars.
For the Black Stars.
1 win away from qualification, which is very important. The first point, or first lesson that I picked out was at left back. And many have criticized Barbara Rahman's performances. This was another opportunity for Gideon Mensah to show what he could give the Black Stars. He himself would admit that he wasn't up to standard, up to his personal standard and up to the team standard in the 2 games. Quite disappointing. And you would understand why going forward, the Black Stars head coach will stick and stay with Barbara Rahman, who's been tried and tested. Yes, he's had his bad moments, but when you are going to switch it up between one and another, you need the competing one, the one coming in to show a certain level of consistency, good performances to be able to uproot the person who is already in place. So, as it seems, it looks like they're on the same level.
So between Gideon Mensah, you saw Gideon Mensah's performance, at the Barra Sports Stadium, then at the 11 November Stadium, and you think, based on his showing, Barbara Rahman may be our best left back after all. That's the first thing you noticed.
That's the first thing. And look, I stand by it. Even before this, I didn't really need anybody to convince me personally as to why Gideon Mensah was better. I think the good thing about the 2 of them is that they can offer different things. And I think that it is very important we have both of them in the squad. But down to the way the Black Stars play, if you saw how Gideon Mensah was deployed in both games, in a system where he wasn't necessarily supposed to add too much offensively. He was supposed to sit and stay. But when it came to his defensive battles, he was found wanting. That is the sort of system that Barbara Rahman thrives under. If we are going more offensive and you need somebody to go and come recover and defensively add offense in terms of overlapping runs up and down, that is where Gideon Mensah is good at. So
interesting. So that sorts out the first one in the left back position. What's the second thing you noticed? And I can see is that Jordan is a coach's dream. Interesting. What do you mean by this?
We saw it in the 2 legs. Deployed in 2 different roles. First leg as a right winger, as to tack in help with the central striker in Iñaki Williams. Second leg played as more like an out-and-out winger because we saw that Schindler wasn't overlapping too much as Gideon Dennis Odoi was doing in the first leg. So Jordan was more of an out-and-out winger in the second leg, and then later on came to play a number 10 position, executed it brilliantly.
That was like a cameo number 10.
That was a cameo number 10, but very important because it was at the time where we got the goal. And it just shows you how important he is to a coach. And we talk about versatility when it comes to national team football, where you don't have enough time to be able to train intricate, complicated tactical plans like at club level. You need players who can bend themselves. When you need him to play here, he can do it. So if you need him to switch it around, he can do it. And that is the reason why Jordan
he's a
consistently be a main feature in the Black Stars.
Because Siki Akono, Milovan, Otuado, Chris Heaton,
Avram Grant.
Even when his brother has been benched,
Jordan
still making less cut.
And Jordan will play again when we come in June.
Okay, we'll wait to see that. Then number 3, then the third thing you noticed, and that's going to come on the screen shortly. And the third thing you noticed is that there is life after Andre Ayew. And I'm sure this is stemming from the fact that Andre Ayew did not play in the game against Angola Barra Sports Stadium. Of course, was unavailable due to injury. And yet, we were able to pick some crucial points.
Yes, it's very important to note that, look, we made a mistake as a country when it came to phasing out Asamoah and we didn't really get a proper replacement for him. And then he was done and we started struggling in the number 9 position. But with Andre Ayew, you looked at him, he's been a consistent feature in this Black Stars, top performer. Comes up and gets the goods for us almost every time. If you look at the past 2 years, only Kudus Mohammed has scored more goals than Andrea in the Black Stars setup. But when a player is on the twilight of his career, as good as he is, you need to plan for life after him. And what we saw in both games just shows. The first game at the Barbara Sports Stadium, where the Black Stars needed to dig deep and find a goal out of nothing, that is usually Dede Ayew territory. He remained on the bench. We saw Semenyo come in and get the goal. Second leg, we are down a goal. We need to get an equalizer. Again, that is Dede Ayew territory, where he usually, over the years, has been the one to come and bail the Black Stars out.
Yeah.
But the team were able to show character, individual leadership, tenacity, came back and got that equalizer, and could have even won had that. You saw Joseph Pinso striking the crossbar.
Yeah.
So these are signs that shows that even when the footballing abilities of Dede is not around, the leadership quality of Dede is not around, some of these things they remain in the squad.
Yeah.
They are players who can still find them. Yes, not maybe may not find it in one player, but as a collective.
It's not exclusive to Dede. You such that in his absence,
Thank you very much.
we're missing this.
It's a collective.
Great. Now, number 4 thing you noticed in that game, in that double header against Angola, and that's going to come on the screen shortly, is that the team has character.
Yeah.
And I completely agree with this, because Chris Heaton made reference to this in his post-match, address to the press, and he spoke about the spirit of the team, the dynamism of the game at the Barbara Sports Stadium. 90 plus 6 minutes, we find a goal.
Yeah.
We were down in Angola.
Thank you very much.
And we found a goal.
Found a goal again, and this is literally the first 2 performances after the World Cup where the Black Stars were conceding goals in an average space of 1 minute 30 seconds. So if you look at the goals we considered 2 goals in 2 minutes against Portugal, considered 2 goals in 3 minutes against Korea, considered 2 goals in 6 minutes against Uruguay.
Yeah.
The mentality of the team crumbled anytime they conceded a goal, anytime there was pressure on the team. But when you look at the months after, 3 months after, and you look at the performances of this team at the Park Barbara Sports Stadium, where the crowd was increasingly getting frustrated because they couldn't find the goal, they were able to dig deep and find a winner. Behind enemy lines, when the Angolans had gotten the lead, they were playing well. The Black Stars were still able to dig deep and get an equalizer. And some of these signs are very essential. When you are building a winning team, character is one of the most important ingredients, and the Black Stars
seem to have it. And finally, this is the last lesson, and is that there is quality in the Black Star squad. And I think that's one thing every Ghanaian can agree with.
Yeah, top quality. And this was evident in both legs. We looked at the first leg where, prime example, Iñaki Williams starts the game. We are having troubles getting a goal. Semenyo comes off the bench. Osman Bukari comes. They combine. Ghana get the winning goal. Yeah. Second leg, things are not working on the pitch. The head coach can look back, has quality, brings on Iñaki Williams, brings on Osman Bukari, Joseph Pinso, Majid Ashimero. Yeah. They come in, they completely change the complexion.
Even Thomas Partey sitting on the bench.
And we still thrived. And just because you've mentioned this point, a very essential point that people must not forget. If you are talking about the consistent starters in the Black Stars who were missing in at least one of these games, Partey didn't play the second leg. Andrea Ayew didn't play the second leg. Our 3 captains on paper, Richard Ofori wasn't in this team. Our 3 captains on paper didn't play this game. Quality players were missing, yet the Black Stars were still able to show up, show character, and show the quality and get the desired result. So, all in all, it's been a very good international break for the Black Stars. As I said, we are just 1 win away from securing our place at the 2024 AFCON. And you don't put it past the team; they will do the job.
They will do the job. That's Daniel Corantin of George Sports team there, bringing us up to speed on the 5 lessons we got from the Black Stars 2 international games, the 2023 AFCON qualifiers. And away from that, some basketball now, and it is the second gentleman of the United States of America who has helped in organizing a basketball clinic for girls only at the Bukom Arena. My colleague Michelle Quinn was there, and he put together this report.
Girls between the ages of about 12 and 18 screaming, "I got it." Amongst other drills, they were being put through by Ori Leibenberg, NBA Africa Academy coach. The NBA's Junior NBA All-Girls Clinic organized in Accra was the first ever of the franchise, and the U.S. State Department targeted at creating more ball and off-court opportunities for young girls. Victor Williams is CEO of NBA Africa.
This visit is part of our decades-long collaboration with the U.S. State Department that has seen more than 60 current and former NBA and WNBA players, coaches, and team personnel traveling to more than 20 African countries as part of the Sports Envoy program. The Junior NBA has been a cornerstone of NBA Africa's youth development programming, which helps us further our commitment to empowering and creating more more opportunities for young girls.
Present at the all-girls basketball clinic was the USA's second gentleman, Douglas Emhoff. But right before taking his turn at the makeshift podium, 2003 champion and WNBA legend, Achu Ndiaye of Senegal, recounted how basketball changed her life.
Basketball, I wasn't supposed to play because I was too masculine. I was supposed to be at home cooking, and we couldn't do both. I ended up doing both, and at the highest level. So I'm grateful to see young ladies like me this soon because I fell into basketball. And there's no more excuses. We can't fall into basketball. There's these clinics, and I'm grateful for that because this allows young women like you guys to know that anything is possible through those sports. Because at some point the ball it will stop bouncing. But when it stops, the value that this game can put in your life, you can't measure. So keep playing and keep dreaming high and big.
Ghana's Minister for Youth and Sports, Mustafa Yusuf, was also present at the clinic. And he indicated the girls' clinic was a crucial step in redirecting the boys' biased focus on basketball development.
It is indeed an honor and a great opportunity for our country to have been selected for this important international basketball clinic by NBA Africa. I am extremely delighted to be part of this program as it will highlight the potential Ghana has, especially the female basketball. The focus of basketball development has been largely on the boys, with the girls participating largely on the periphery at the various levels. To have such a big grassroots clinic focusing on girls, it is a timely step by NBA Africa.
Well, the USA's second gentleman played some ball too. And all the excitement on his face while bouncing was a manifestation of the hidden zing.
I moved to LA when I was a teenager, which means I am a huge Los Angeles Lakers fan. And this is a special day. This is historic, what we're doing today. This is the first all-girls junior NBA clinic. It's happening right here in Ghana. And you're all able to be here and participate in that. So NBA Africa, this is big. This is history you're all playing a part of.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and the man who covered that, Michelle Quinn, is in the studio with me. Mish, great reports there. But I mean, how is this going to help, develop the game among the girls on the continent?
All right, so the junior NBA, just a large project of the NBA to ensure that the sport is being developed at the grassroots level, to ensure that they are pushing it to keep that future of the sport with that young guys who are going to be with it. And it's an offshore project, or was a larger project like the NBA Africa, which has also seen the start of the Basketball Africa League and all those projects and all of that. So this is supposed to help, focus in and zoom in on the girls, because mostly in basketball here in Ghana, it's about the boys playing this, the boys doing this, and the boys doing that. We ship a lot of boys, a lot of male talents outside the country, yet about to see them make a real impact in NBA. Yeah. So that's the next step for the males, but currently it's about making sure that the females have also, that development and have those fundamentals to ensure that we can have that history, not that history, we can have the future on the female end of the court as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, even when you go to certain parts of the country, say the northern part of the country, you're going to see ladies who have the height for basketball. I'm
happy you mentioned the height, because I don't know. Okay, I understand it. In Ghana, anytime you speak about basketball, immediately think about the height. Yeah, the height is very crucial. It's very important. Yes, we've had some really good players in the NBA who are not
necessarily tall.
And also, we've had some very tall players in the NBA who were absolutely atrocious. I can mention.
But if you have the height, it does give you some advantage.
Someone like Yao Ming was what really propelled him in the NBA was because of his height. About 6'5" and beyond 6'5", 6'7", 6.
Yeah, but there's an opportunity for you whether you are you're tall or you are, you know, somewhere down
Well,
there.
so yeah, so the height in the north, you can have the height and build and stature, but beyond that, it's about the technique, how you bounce the ball, because the skill, and you know, also the physique. You can have the height, or sometimes you might not really have the physique, your nutrition, your mentality. Basketball is really the mental robustness needed is really you know, up there. You have to be up there mentally to survive in the sport. So it's all part of that junior NBA period to make sure that these kids are getting it at the fundamentals, not just about the courts, also off court, because Achu in the eye mentioned that definitely the ball is going to stop bouncing as a point.
Yeah.
But when that ball stops bouncing,
What do you
you're
do
going to have
in your life
opportunities
after
with
that?
basketball. As she's currently right now with the NBA Africa Academy and all of that.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Then, of course, there's also some happenings in the, you know, Africa Basketball
The Basketball
League.
Africa League, yes. So it's in its third season, and it's in the third season.
Yeah.
The first season, Zamalek won from Zamalek of Egypt. Second season, US Monastir of Tunisia won. In the third season, and no Ghanaian team has managed to play in the Basketball Africa League yet. And to make matters worse, no Ghanaian player has played in the bowl yet. It's just this season where we've seen AS Douanes have a Ghanaian name on their roster, Matthew Amaning. And even Matthew is not exactly fully Ghanaian. He's British Ghanaian.
Okay.
So you can't
But
really
we can
claim
claim
him.
him. We can claim him. No
You
problem.
can, well, you might want to claim him, but the question is, did he come from the grassroots here? That is the real question we have to answer, because if you want to go to the Basketball Africa League, and as many of our teams are currently trying to do, I'll get to that point soon. You have to have you know, the field. You have to have the feed right in and here, because maybe you might want to bring in like foreign players and all that, but do you have the money, resources to pay those players and all? And talking about the resources, last year, and a team, the Accra Basketball League, had the invitation. They were invited to go and play the qualifiers of the Accra Basketball League, and they weren't able to do that. Why? Because they needed $3,500, which they couldn't receive. Yesterday, Mustafa, you see, said that the ministry is there to support these teams, and I was a bit skeptical, because what
They need the money. You need to give them the money
the
to
ministry
participate
in the last two seasons. I put the question to him, was like, maybe they didn't come to him, so maybe that's also a point. Yes, still.
So they should try and reach out to him so that we can get the funding.
Even with reaching out to him, there are a lot of backstories, which, I mean.
Interesting. We're going to deal with all of these issues here on Joy Sports, and you can trust us to do that. But that's all we have for you on Prime Sports tonight. With me, Razak Musbau. Mitch, thanks for coming through.
Thanks for having me.
And Daniel Cranty also joined us. There's more on myjoyonline.com/sports. Do have a lovely evening.